Okay, right. Well, let's have a look at online designers then. This is a one I like at getshirtyonline.com, and the thing I like about this is the actual garment picking interface. The way this rotates around is kind of cool, and if we were to go full multi-touch on a platform, the swiping gestures would be great for selecting the garment. The downside of this, it's very small. It's lost in the middle of the screen. It could do with being a lot bigger. When you select a garment, it's nice the way the images roll in as they do there. Again, here you would select the color of your design, which one you want, and then you go continue to your design. It's a very nice looking feature, and also I like the overall look of this. It's very clean. I like the way we have left panels and right panels. We've got text on our right, and we've got graphics and clip art images on our left. Everything else about this is a bit normal. There's nothing too special about the text input and bucket. It's just that initial look. If we then take a look at another one, custom t-shirt. Now this is another feature I'm not seeing very often, but if you look, the rest of the layout is very mundane, very basic. There's nothing clever about this one at all. I really don't like the way you enter text on this. It's really not clear what's going on. What is nice is if I choose my color picker, I have red in the object there. I select my color picker, and you see we have special vinyls. We carry all these glitter effects, and at the moment it's impossible to show a customer what that design might look like until now. So here we have a red sparkle effect, which is available in vinyl, and if we choose that, the text actually looks like a red glitter vinyl. Currently we don't have that option. We can tell people with our online designer that we have glitter, but it will render as a grey. So that's something I want taken into consideration. And then if we look at the Rival Art Studio, again, it's not a pretty interface. The guys who build these things obviously have no idea of style and design. They just seem to know how to code. And one of the clever features about this one is the way we can take a pre-formatted design, which this was one of their templates we've just opened, and I can go in, select team, and change team to varsity. And it renders the text with the distress features and with the shadows. Obviously the downside of this, I do have to click on its shadow behind there, if I can get to it, to select what was the word team and change that to varsity 2. And then we can overlap. Now this is going to help people that don't have a clue how to design and have no artistic flair. We can give them a template already laid out, and they can come in and just change the text or change the central image. But as you say, this version is very clunky, and it doesn't at all work well to sort of invite you to go digging around and see what clip arts are available to load on the t-shirt. But that will be a very important feature when it comes to the guys' affliction style t-shirts. They're going to be very varsity, collegey type look to them. Okay, now if we then go back to my old favourite, which is the Custom Couture site. Now what I think these guys have done so right is basically the niceness of the interface itself. This is where they've obviously spent a lot of time. Now features where I think this could be improved, I think if we took the elements from Get Shirty Online, so we had a bigger panel over here on the left and maybe a larger panel on the right. I like the sizing of that, but we've got a lot of dead space on our screen. The other features we have on here, their text tool. It's fine, it's great. We instantly see how we are supposed to enter our text. We can resize our text, which is all good. And when we select our color, you can see we're just met with a standard hexadecimal color swatches. We don't. We have glitters, vinyls, metallics. They all need to be rendered correctly here. So when we click on an item, it renders. So that's when we'll take the elements that we see from the Shirtinator website. Everything else on this site I like. I haven't found a lot I don't enjoy playing with. The way we can change the shapes is very obvious, works very well. Shadows. This is a feature, this works with direct-to-garment digital printing. If someone was having a gold metallic vinyl, they wouldn't really necessarily be able to have a shadow. It would be twice as much cost because we're going to have to cut a separate piece of material to act as the shadow. It's not to say they can't have that feature, but in their example, it doesn't increase the price. On our example, it would. Okay, so there's nothing particularly clever about that. It's just another designer. This one is clever is when it comes to the bead or rhinestone examples. So if I type in Mike on this, I see the text rendered as rhinestones. And again, when I enlarge this, if we look, the rhinestone size is not increasing. It remains the same. We are still using a 4mm rhinestone, or rhinestud in this case. And it's the spacing between those characters that changes. Also, when we look carefully, we can see there's actual flash movement going on around these gems. It's actually glistening to let us know we have rhinestones on the garment. That's very clever, and I haven't seen that done before, and will be perfect for our rhinestone machine and that element of our business. Again, some of the features on here we don't need. All these extra rhinestuds, our machine can't pick them up and place them. These are all placed by hand. This makes it very expensive. All we're interested in is 3mm, 2mm and 4mm rhinestones and rhinestuds. We have clear, green, red, blue, silver, we have gold studs. We have a few, but they're all basically either what we call a stud, or a nail head, or they're an actual stone. Another feature that's very nice about this site is the clip art. When we do select clip art, these boxes that appear, very nice. It's just pretty the way it moves, and we can see us having a lot of different graphics and clip arts being nice and easy to obtain. Another feature which I liked in here was with color choices, and if I can find the right area, there we go. When we click on a color swatch, how that box just opened then is very, very cool. Oh, and we have size and alignment boxes, what's on my garment, hide layer, ball outline. The way it flicks open, we can attach a gradient to that. With shapes, we can add a shape, so we can take a heart, and obviously, excuse me, that was my parrot. We can change the outline colour, so we can make that a red. We can then take the inner colour for the fill and open that box. It's the way this moves is so unique, and that's what has me interested. For our part, clip art, yes, we're going to need. The bead tool that they offer, this is something that isn't needed so much. We have the text beads. We will definitely have text, and we have shapes that are going to be done in beads and rhinestones. This bead tool just seems to be rehashing something they've already looked at. And when we look at bead art, again, this is a feature that lends itself more towards embroidery. So perhaps for our case, this part of the design will be better kept for the embroidery software and not really confusing the two. If we go back to main categories on the bead art, we have bead art, beaded clip art, and applique. Applique is a form of embroidery. And will it be used? Yes, we will probably take some of our own designs, which are pre-done formats of embroidery, and utilize these here. And what would be ideal is if we could take that design, love, for instance, which might be a pre-formatted text design, we could place that on a garment. They've got this, it's a fixed applique which is heat sewn on. We can create these manually, so we'd like to be able to stretch that out, like we manipulate the text, but you have a choice of a fill and an outline. And we'll go into that in another video. So hopefully that was kind of clear, a bit rushed over, but gets a basic idea of what I like and dislike about different sites.